my song. Let's sing it. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's insane. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah!
Howdy, howdy, howdy. What's good, my heroes? You have once again stumbled into Coolest Alive, the only place on the internet dropping pure pop culture serotonin 6 days a week. No reviews here, just new heat and stone cold classics guaranteed to make your week less of a fucking dumpster fire. I'm your captain, Jesse Blaze Snider, the undisputed coolest man alive, coming at you live from the glowing neon abyss of Blacklight District Studio. It's Monday, which means we're kicking the week off with a quick hitting love letter to one of my all-time favorite albums. But real quick, lock this schedule in your brain. Tuesday, we go full animation mode. Wednesday, it's comic book worship. Thursday, we talk the best live-action movies and TV. And Friday's the wild card. Could be a game, a documentary, stand-up, whatever I'm obsessed with this week. That's 5 short, heartfelt recommendations, bombs, Monday through Friday, plus Saturday, we go long, either celebrating something legendary for an hour straight or swinging the wrecking ball at modern culture to make it better. Now, we will kick off today's music celebration in just a second. But first, real quick shout out to my company, Blacklight District Studio, where we cook up boutique music and comics that you can't find anywhere else. I'd honestly not be here speaking to you right now if there wasn't a need to promote my company and everything that I and we do. So full disclosure, I like creating great new music and comic books a billion times more than I love recommending them. And I really do love recommending them. I do. But making them is my passion. So Blacklight District Studio, we always have something pre-ordering on Kickstarter, and right now is no different. You can still jump in even a bit late on my Solfeggio Sound Healing Frequency Modern Music project. It's written by me and created using frequencies that will lower your heart rates and benefit you in all sorts of ways. Search it on Kickstarter or link to the campaign through our website at blacklightdistrict.studio. Our next project is an anthology comics magazine called Sugar and Bones that I know you will all love. So stay tuned for the latest updates on that. And if you just want to listen to the Frequency album being offered on Kickstarter in a collectible physical way, it's available digitally wherever you listen to your music under Jesse Blaze and Solfeggio Transmissions Volume 1. Enjoy it! Also, if your third eye isn't already tuned in every fucking Sunday to everything they don't want you to know, my esoteric deep dive into the hidden truths of reality, then tune it in, motherfuckers. It's literally medicine for the psychedelic part of your brain. I mean, the psychic part of your brain. All right, enough foreplay. Time to set your whole week ablaze with the fire of greatness. Today's album, Widowmaker, Stand By for Pain, 1994. Yo, real talk. Before Dee Snider was the twisted, torturous, body mod monster Captain Howdy from Strangeland, or the guy color commenting on I Love Fill in the Decade, he put together one of the most criminally slept on heavy metal records of the 90s with Widowmaker. After Twisted Sister broke up, Dee had 2 projects, a group called Desperado that got shelved a week before their album was about to release, which is a recommendation for another episode, and a follow-up project, Widowmaker, where he grabbed longtime friend, ex-Good Rats drummer, session player, drum book writer for the books that they use in drumming schools, Joe Franco. Plus Al Pitrelli from Sabotage, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and a whole bunch more, and the absolute monster bass player Mark Russell to drop Stand By for Pain in 1994. This thing is pure groove metal adrenaline laced with Dee's signature theatrical venom. Think Pantera meets Alice Cooper on a bad acid trip. It comes out the exact same year grunge was supposedly killing metal, so of course it got ignored, sold maybe 30,000 copies, and vanished. But metalheads who actually know, they treat this baby like the fucking holy grail that it is. The singles, Long Gone and Killing Time, favorites like Protect and Serve and The Iron Road, they still melt faces alongside most of the songs on this insanely killer album and time capsule for what was going on in heavy metal in the 90s. This is hands down my favorite 90s metal album. Dee studied the formula at the time and with his crew brought to life an absolute cult classic that I think it's about time to finally catch up to. I was tempted to just like not do what I normally do, which is, full disclose. My father is Dee Snider. A lot of you guys know that by now, but this album's so good. Like, I don't want this to be like some sort of, well, Jesse, your judgment is off. My judgment is not fucking off. Holy shit. This record is fucking great. There's 12 tracks on it. Out of those 12, 9 of them are complete bangers. And the 3 songs that I'll mention them, but the 3 songs that aren't like favorites of mine on this record are also decent songs. And overall, just together as a group, like as an album, what a great fucking time capsule for 90s metal. There was a lot going on at this time when this record came out. There was a real 90s metal scene with bands like Pantera and Sepultura and just so many different bands that were coming out at the time. Seven Dust and there even bands that were slightly different, like a Coal Chamber or Head PE, which was like more like a new metal band, or Snot, and that was similarly. But there was a 90s metal aesthetic. A lot of it was not super commercial on any level, but cool and interesting. 9 Inch Nails was coming out around this time. This was the beginning of when metal really started to kind of split off into so many different offshoots that it's become a little bit hard to fucking deal with. But at this time, there still wasn't like new metal, the term, I don't think it had been come up with yet. Like that term was brought up years later so that like people could insult bands like Limp Bizkit and shit like that. The 90s metal really had a certain sound to it. And it was the beginning of higher quality kind of productions, more interesting productions. I think a lot of that, came from influence of people like Trent Reznor and whatnot, who were doing things that were, kind of artistic and a little bit more theatrical than had been done previously. Well, my dad, he's a big metal fan. One of the big reasons why, if people who pay attention to my dad, he'll give shit to the Kiss guys. They fucking hate him because he calls them out on bullshit that they do. And the reason why he calls them out on bullshit that they do and he feels okay to do that is because he is genuinely a real fan of Kiss, who bought their records at the time, who saw them play, who was somebody who was championing them and somebody who had been supporting them for forever. And so when like little things went wrong or whatever they would do, he was like, man, as a fan, this sucks, and it made it easier for him to say that. Well, similarly, I think it made it easier for him to kind of conform to this genre at the time, like what was going on at the time, because he loved what was going on at the time. He had a great radio show that I used to listen to all the time called The Metal Nation. The tagline was, if it ain't metal, it's crap. And I used to listen to it. I think it was like once a week. I used to listen to it all the time. And we had a what do you call it? Like a library of largely 90s metal that was downstairs in my basement that I would go and I would pull from, but this was like a collection, some of it a collection of things that he already owned, but also lots of things that was being offered to him for his radio show so that these things could be promoted on air and blah, blah, blah. So, my dad really genuinely, not only loved that stuff, but was very active in the scene, doing radio stuff where he was, playing lots of these things, promoting lots of these bands, Life of Agony. And I mean, there's some bands that you wouldn't even hear of anymore. Typo Negative, rest in peace, Pete Steele. So many different bands that were coming out of this 90s metal scene. And granted, there are a lot of these bands that I'm mentioning, like one is not like the other, is not like the other, is not like the other, is not like the other. But there was some through lines between all these things in terms of the way they were approaching production, slightly more artistic ways of approaching hooks and a little bit more musical oriented and music driven as opposed to melody and lyric driven, which is more traditionally like what my father would do. But man, he came together to collaborate with Al Pitrelli, Joe Franco, and Mark Russell in a way that he never had, collaborated with Twisted Sister. Part of that is Twisted Sister's own fault. Very early in the days of Twisted Sister, he was trying to kind of collaborate with them, and the elder statesman of the band, J.J. French in particular, they made him feel stupid. And he kind of went, screw you guys, I'm never going to write this with you again. But at the same time, him being the sole songwriter for Twisted Sister, left a little bit of a bad taste in the mouth of the Twisted guys because he wasn't collaborating with them. And full disclosure, I was literally talking to him last night saying, you know what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm doing Stand By for Pain. I fucking love that album. And he said, I was trying to be more inclusive. That there's a song on the record which isn't one of my favorites, but it is a decent song called Circles, which I believe was written by Mark Russell. And there's another song that he co-wrote with Joe Franco, which again isn't one of my favorites. So the fact that the drummer or the bass player wrote these songs, they're slightly lesser songs, but they are solid and within the context of the album, excellent. Which is called "Cry a Dying Man's Tears," and I love that. I said to him immediately. I was like, "That's awesome." I bet your relationship long term with your bass player, Mark Russell, who I know is still a very good friend of my dad, and Joe Franco, who is still a very good friend of not just my dad, but the family. Well, so is Mark Russell. Mark Russell used to babysit us occasionally. I don't think Mark likes me very much because when I was a little kid, I got his name wrong on the telephone because he's British, and he called the house one day, and he said, "Hello, it's Mark. Can I talk to Dee?" It's Mark. But I couldn't hear him very good. And I went over to my dad. I said, "It's Muck? it's Muck? Muck's on the phone." So this became his nickname in the band, Muck. Hey, Muck. Sorry, I find this really funny because there's times in my life where I went, why doesn't Mark like me? And I'm like, because I gave him a terrible nickname by accident as a kid. And he had to babysit me when I was a retard. Poor Muck. Muck. It really did sound like Muck to me on the phone. Anyway, this band, they're so wonderful. Widowmaker has another album, which is, and again, I said, and I mean this, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about Desperado, and kind of talking about the first Widowmaker is a little bit having the conversation about Desperado. But long story short, Desperado was the first project for my father after Twisted Sister, and it ended up getting shelved a week before it was supposed to be released. Very interesting band. That included Clive Burr from Iron Maiden, Bernie Tormé was a famous British guitar player, and also Mark Russell, who was the bass player of Desperado. And my dad liked Mark so much he brought him into Widowmaker. So that project, after it got shelved, some of those songs became the basis for Widowmaker. And there's actually at least a song or two on the first Widowmaker record that is a carryover from Desperado. And a little bit on that first Widowmaker record, the genre, the production, the style of it is a slightly kind of vestigial, like a heavier, more aggressive version of what he was creating with Desperado. So it wasn't exactly like its own thing when that first Widowmaker record came out. But the second Widowmaker record, that was, they really, the shit came into view. It comes into focus. The fact that this was not one of the biggest fucking albums from that 90s metal scene is just a tragedy. It's crazy. This is such a fucking awesome record. And if you are at all a fan of any of these bands that I'm mentioning from the time, like if you can understand the time frame I'm talking about, the snapshot of metal history, dude, Oh my God, you will be so happy to listen to this because you'll just be like, wow, yeah, it really just fits in amongst these things so well. And not only that, it fits in amongst these things and it is on top. It is like just a shining symbol of it all, handled so well, sung by a fucking virtuoso, clobbering vocalist, Dee Snider, played by a clobbering drummer, Joe Franco, shredded by a fucking shredding guitar player, Al Pitrelli. You know, Al Pitrelli, if you guys have ever seen him playing with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, he's played with Alice Cooper, he's played with so many people. Al and Joe. Joe writes the fucking drum books that the freaking students go to school to learn from. These people are some of the most talented musicians on planet Earth. And while Mark Russell does not have the same like pedigree of, say, Joe Franco and Al Pitrelli, I believe that Mark being there amongst these three, Dee, Joe, and Al, says fucking everything. Dee, Joe, Al, they picked Mark. And bass is important. You know, a great band of musicians want a great bass player. And Mark is great. This I can remember seeing Widowmaker, you know, seeing my father play, period, is amazing. He's so great. But like, you know, there's like a tone to everything. And the tone to Twisted Sister shows is kind of cool and upbeat. It's like stadium something or whatever, a little bit, whatever. I mean, there's some tone to Twisted Sister that has a little bit of some of the tone that you get from the Widowmaker album and a Widowmaker show. But holy fuck, man. Just the attitude here, the energy here. You know, I was talking to my dad last night, like I said, and, you know, he was saying, I don't think I was ever so angry. You know, like all of those songs came from this place of rage. You know, Twisted Sister had fallen apart in this way, that way. You know, in a lot of ways, no fault of my own. You know, but like it did what it did, and then all of a sudden, I, you know, tried to put something else together, and Desperado got shelved, and you know, and I was, you know, I wasn't making money. You know, I was having to go get regular jobs and do all these different things to get myself, keep myself afloat, and I had a family, and like just it was the most stressful, terrible time of my life, and that's when I wrote most of those songs. Like in particular, you know, I'm just gonna say the song, the title track, "Stand By for Pain," which I'm probably not gonna play you, but the lyrics is very simple. When you find love, stand by for pain. When you find love, stand by for pain. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So true. Love will bring you to your knees. And what a great metaphor. It's all this darkness, but it's coming from love. All right. So I'm going to play you some things. You know, this might be a slightly longer episode. I mean, but maybe I'll try to just play clips and stuff, but I just really want to give you guys a little taste of what this record is like. It means so much to me as his son. Just how fucking great it was. I so believed in this at the time and was so fucking disappointed that it did not get picked up. It deserved it, man. I am a good judge of fucking music. I've got really good taste. I was the music consultant for the Dee Snider Strangeland film, which is a 90s metal mixtape. And I'm not even necessarily the biggest 90s metal guy. I'm more of like a hard rock guy, more of a punk guy. But there's plenty of metal bands that I like, and I certainly appreciate the genre, especially through my father. You know, I was saying to him, the singles, like the two singles from this record, which I think are phenomenal, but they're not like my favorite type of music. But I still appreciate how well he is executing this style, and like, you know, it's great. But I'm telling you, you know, this isn't his son, you know, seeing with rose-colored glasses. This is, you know, the first Widowmaker record was good, but this one impressed me. It just hit all of the notes. It just checked all the boxes. I went, you did it, Dad. You honed in on something. Like the previous album was filled with great songs. Blood and Bullets, Calling for You, There's No Angels Here. Wait, is there no angels here on that one or Desperado? It might be on Desperado. We Are the Dead, one of my favorite songs off that record. Tons of great songs on the album. However, it did not quite, like, it seemed just like a collection of some really great songs, and it still seemed a little bit like Desperado, a little bit Western or whatever else, which was kind of the Desperado theme. It was like what? It was like cowboy rock or something, not country, but like it just sort of themed with this sort of Unforgiven kind of vibe was Desperado. But Widowmaker just becomes something else. You know, it's just like a soundtrack for fucking serial killers and the end of the world. So, and what a perfect way to segue into the opening single, which was called Killing Time. And I forget the name of the serial killer, but this song was literally about a serial killer. My father had a very good friend of his, Roger Offner, who had been interviewing like fucking Dr. Kevorkian or some shit. And so many of these things that like came back, it was inspired by, this song was inspired by conversations that were passed on to him from his friend meeting with this killer. So listen to some Killing Time. Ooh, what a great guitar part. And you hear that effect? Ooh, it's so wet. It's making me wet in the best way. And remember, guys, I'm so sorry. Every 7 seconds, if I'm not fucking saying something, and it's easier to just talk over this a little bit than it is to just, like, you know, say 7 every few minutes, but I gotta say something. What's mine is theirs, but what theirs ain't mine. I think this was the first single, or maybe Long Gone might have been the first one. When I'm good, I'm bad, and I was never good. Seven. Seven. Just killing time. Very cool. How groovy. Mine's bend, but they never break. They have to push, see just how much I take. Good shit, Dad. Track 2, which was the other single here, and again, these aren't my favorites. I'm just kind of trying to give you a little bit of a taste, because these were the songs they used to promote the record, and I do think that they're beautiful, have great value, and I think a lot of you guys would probably really dig them, so I'm playing them. Here's Long Gone, another awesome guitar part and great vibey energy here. Here's Long Gone. Ooh, well, bass line here. Click, click. You feel that, man? That's drumming. Beautiful voice. Dee Snider, man. He can sing. And Al Pitrelli, just all these little nuanced guitar stuff, cool little all this noise that he makes with his guitars. And I mean, he's playing plenty of times, but like, just even when he's playing small, he sounds great. And the production, I forget the guy, Rick Kerr. Apparently he passed away now, but Rick Kerr, and then Rick Wake was the executive producer. Let them know you've been around. Kick the cage. Turn it upside down. Hook. Walk your walk. Choose a path, walk by the few. Save your time. Show your point of view. Gonna be long gone away. Okay, so now, those two songs are excellent. But for me, it comes down to a few other ones on the record. And these are the ones that I'm sharing with you from my personal thing. I have been trying to convince my father to add this next song to his set when he goes out and plays his Dee Snider. Generally he plays We're Not Gonna Take It. He plays I Wanna Rock. And he'll play a lot of songs that he considers kind of famous amongst the fans. And I've said to him a million times, Dad, a good song is a good song. Most of the bands that go out on the road, nobody knows who the fuck they are. And good songs stick with people. And before you know it, they'll blow up, with people remembering their songs and going home and playing. And I said, if you started playing Protect and Serve, which is the name of the song, live, I believe everybody would go, what the fuck? What is that song? That's a great song. This song is about the police and about corruption on the police force. And it is lovely. I'm hoping that I'm using Spotify right now. Hoping that the lyrics will come up when I hit play here. And granted, I know a lot of them, but it would be great if I could just kind of read some of them and get it all. So let's see. This is Protect and Serve, one of my favorite songs my dad's ever written. I mean, just really, it's excellent. And the production's really cool. The direction this guy's headed is death. So just because I love the lyrics so much and because I want to cover my ass so that, we don't get booted off of Spotify again, I'm going to kind of just speak some of the lyrics. Spare us your story, don't tell us you tried. You swore to uphold it, you swore and you lied. You let down the people, you let down the law. Your sisters, your brothers, you turned on us all. Fucking heavy. The pride of the city, the guardian in blue. Of duty and honor, you don't got a clue. Don't tell us you're human. That truth is quite clear. We've lost our faith in you. We know who's to blame. Protect and serve. Protect and serve. Oh, man. With every discretion, you're losing our trust. Your image is tarnished. Your badge is in the dust. The shame of your family, the shame of the force, your selfish indulgence, you felt no remorse. Protect and serve. Super cool for those of you who love great 90s metal. And let me just finish some of these words for you. After it repeats the chorus, it says, pray for our protectors. May God keep them strong. Their purpose is noble. Protect us from wrong. Remember that honor and duty are one. That there's more to a cop than a badge and a gun. Oh, that there's more to a cop than a badge and a gun. Ah, yeah, man. I want every fucking police officer on planet Earth to hear this song. There's more to a cop than a badge and a gun. Ah. What a beautiful song. How well said, my father. Yes, there's more to a cop than a badge and a gun. Oh, I love that song. And then similarly, I don't want to skip, but I can only play so much, and I've already played 3. Usually I try to keep it to 3. Probably end up playing you like 5. But one of the best ones is Ready to Fall. That's track 4. It's right after Protect and Serve. And I'm ready to fall, ready to fall, ready to fall. Fucking awesome. Again, great lyrics. So much of the lyrics here on this whole album, it just comes from such a place of pain for my father. And you feel it. And what a great place to put some pain in some 90s metal. So Ready to Fall, track 4 is great. Track 5, Circles, is one of my least favorite songs on the record, but it's not bad. It's a ballad. It's pretty. Track 6 is Stand By for Pain, which I give you those lyrics, when you find love, stand by for pain. Which one am I going to play? I think I'll kick the last one after Iron Road. Okay, so one that I would have played maybe is Just Business. Yeah, it's just business. It's just business. It's all about fucking the world, the real world. It's nothing personal. It's just business. And oh boy, as my dad experienced some it's just business from this fucking music industry and the film industry and every other industry under the sun. It's just business. Just business. Great freaking track. After It's Just Business, Just Business comes what is my really like, I love Protect and Serve, but this one I find myself listening to that much more. This one is a little bit of like a throwback vibe to it. And it's kind of like this one slightly throwbacky song on the album, but it's so, it's so powerful. It's about the building of the railroad and people fucking dying building the railroad across America. And, I just like the idea behind the song is powerful and cool, and the execution is cool. One of my best friends, Dave Marfield, who, big Twisted Sister fan, big Strangeland fan. You know, he and I kind of met because I had done the Strangeland prequel comic book, and he was working on some Strangeland stuff with my dad, so he was very familiar with Strangeland. And he kind of offered himself up, or my dad offered him up, and he said he would love to be like an editor, you know, pair of eyes on my comic book. Well, he and I became best friends from working together, just, you know, on that for him, just kind of helping out. And I became a script reader for him. You know, I would be one of his editors, and he's one of my editors. And like whenever we finish anything, we go, hey, you know, Dave, you read this for me? Hey, Jesse, can you read this for me? Nowadays, I tend not to, like, nobody actually reads any of my scripts. I used to send my scripts around to fucking 20 different people before I would, like, submit anything to an editor. And Dave is one of those bestie editor people, and Dave will still be one of my first readers of things. Just kind of shouting out Dave because I love Dave so much. But when I first met Dave, one of our first big bonding moments was his email address was the Iron Road, and I went, is that a reference to the fucking Widowmaker song? And he was like, hell yeah, my favorite fucking song ever. And I was like, oh my God, it's one of my favorite songs ever. I fucking love the Iron Road. So just to say, ultimately, like, you know, and Dave's genius, really talented, creative guy, and and he and I just were like, oh man, something so cool about this song. It's so heavy, it's so interesting. It's not necessarily indicative of the entirety of the album. Like I said, this is kind of like a one-off within this album, but I do think that it fits in. You know, it's produced right and whatnot, and it fits there, and so good. Listen to The Iron Road. So groovy, man.
Brandon. You saw the beast of thunder.
I love this song. No hook yet, baby. No hook yet. We're getting there. Broke through stony mountains, laid that gleaming rail. Pestilence around it. Oh, so cool. Whoa, when will it end? The rain snowing down. What a fucking great groove. It's so fucking hooky and heavy. It's the Iron Road. The end of the song. I'm just going to play for the end. This is the end of the song. It's the Iron Road. Just listen to Dee Snider fucking lose his mind screaming, it's the Iron Road. It sounds so great. Listen. It's the Iron Road. I'll try to just count to 7. 7. 7. It's the Iron Road. Fucking love that shit. Okay. And like I gotta sell it with one more, so I'm going to. So after the Iron Road in this record, you've got Bad Rain, which is a great ballad. Like a bad rain, like a bad rain coming down on me. Why do I carry on now that all my hope is gone? To the limit and beyond, what am I proving? Really, really cool, poetic, beautiful song. Again, this is a time capsule for my father in his life when things were really not going great, falling apart. And, you know, if that sounds good for you as like an artist, like to be able to create something from that place, you know, it really, it created something amazing. The 2 tracks after Bad Rain aren't my favorites, but Your Sorrow and Cry a Dying Man's Tears are not the worst songs ever, and they fit within the context of this record really well and continue to give it a lot of character. This album is really a nice mix of really hard-hitting heavy metal rockers and then really heavy subject matter, kind of ballads, and then songs that are kind of in between that whole thing. So I know I'm well past my 20 minutes or whatever where I try to keep these things to, but there's just so much for me to love about this, and hopefully it's okay and you guys are enjoying hearing this. But the final track on the album is called All Things Must Change, and that's the last one I want to play for you. Here, let's check this out. And again, this is one of those things where it's kind of this nice bridge. His voice sounds so great. Every prison's not a cage. And I've learned one thing for sure. Ooh, all things must change. All things must change. So I live my life through rose-colored eyes. Life's so unreal from the stage. But the limelight fades away. Ooh, all things must change. Seven. Don't look to me for answers. I'll give you metaphor. Ooh, and nothing more. My only fear is sorrow. My pain is in the score and nothing more. The production's so cool. And then it's going to kick in and we'll end it here. And this is what I'm talking about. Man, there's like just so many beautiful ballads mixed with fucking hard rockers and shit here. What a great performance. This whole album is so well performed. Well performed by my father singing his ass off, by fucking Joe Franco pounding the fucking skins, Al Pitrelli, Mark Russell. I'm so fucking impressed. I was so impressed at the time, and Jesus, I've always been so impressed by this record. Always been such a big fan of it. My father said something to me that he remembered that I had said to him about this record at the time, which was a really nice compliment. And I was really nice that he remembered it. I'm forgetting it now. What he said yesterday, he was like, I remember you said, and I remember when he said it, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, man. I love that. I love that record. I really believe in it. And I was so fucking bummed out that the word did not get out. So let me say to you, this record rules. And there's not enough freaking people on planet Earth who have heard it. So now you've heard some clips. First, Go listen to it yourself. Go fucking immerse yourself in it. And if you find that you really love it, share it directly with your metalhead friends, people who you think might like it too. I really think that this record in particular has a lot of crossover appeal, and you don't necessarily have to be a friggin' 90s metalhead to love it. It's still all songs written by the great Dee Snider, who is one of my favorite songwriters on planet Earth. He is so damn good with his hooks. He is so damn good with his words, and what an amazing performer he is. And by this time, a lot of people shortchange Twisted Sister. They don't think that like Dee's this amazing vocalist. Man, listen to Stand By for Pain, and you will see, wrong, he's an incredible vocalist. And Widowmaker is an incredible band, and Stand By for Pain is their fucking crowning achievement, chef's kiss. They only got the 2 records, but this one, oh my God, what an amazing time capsule for 90s metal. It should have been so much bigger than it was. But it still exists, and you can still go find it yourself. But that's it. That's the shot. Your official Coolest Alive recommendation of the day, injected straight into your veins. We'll be right back Monday with music, Tuesday with animation, Wednesday with comics, Thursday with live action, Friday with Wildcard Madness, and Saturday with the full-hour mother show that crowns kings and sometimes burns kingdoms down. Slide into my DMs or email me, jbs@blacklightdistrict.studio, and tell me what's currently melting your face off. I read every single message. And do not keep sleeping on my other podcast, Everything They Don't Want You to Know, dropping fresh esoteric fire every single Sunday. That's where we rip the mask off reality and hand you the actual instruction manual. And yes, Blacklight District Studio is still out here cooking boutique music, comics, and merch that you can't get anywhere else. Jump in on the current Kickstarter or late pledge, the glow-in-the-dark goodies before they're gone forever at blacklightdistrict.studio. I think you probably got like 3 more weeks before I'm going to close down the ordering for the Solfeggio Healing Frequency record. So you do still have a couple weeks to get in there. Anyway, this is Jesse Blaze Snider, beaming out from the neon heart of Blacklight District, telling you one last time, stay cool and stay lively, baby. See you next time. You've been listening to Coolest Geek Alive with me, your host, Jesse Blaze Snider. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more excellent geek culture content. Thanks for listening.
It's my favorite part! Isn't that heavy? I played that! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Coolest alive! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Stay with your tribe! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Revenge of the Geeks! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Week after weeks! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Laughing with you! It's gonna be fucking awesome! And crying sometimes too! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Spelling it out! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Making you shout! I'm a genius! I've got lyrics coming out my bum for days! You like that? It's a kazoo solo! I played that too! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Talking some shit! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Living your shit! My voice is fucking awesome! Food in our mouth! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Get in the mouth! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Tell all your friends! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Call right on text! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Raising the bar! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Straight to the stars! It's gonna be fucking awesome! It's starting soon! Straight to the top of the awesome! Passing the moon! It's gonna be fucking awesome! On with the show! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Ready, set, go! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Fucking awesome! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Just wait! You'll see! You'll see.
You'll all see.
The podcast playground. Hooray!